Hey everybody, hi, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread, and I have got a treat for you today. This is Vanessa Emmons. Hello. And this lady is an implant to the United States. Where are you from?
I am from London, England.
Okay.
I came here in 1970, not 1917. Because people here
1970.
Yes.
Right.
And I've lived in the southwestern section of the United States the whole time.
Okay.
New Mexico, Arizona, and now Texas.
So when I walked in, I said, this is an intentional drive to get to this shop. She told me she was like 12 minutes, and that's from that side of San Angelo. So her shop is northwest of San Angelo, yes. Texas, yes. Which is West Texas, middle of nowhere, y'all.
Yes.
You know, I love the town as I was driving here because we're staying at the FAM camp, the Goodfellow Air Force Base Recreation Camp down by the lake. As I was driving around the town, it reminded me of San Antonio about 3.5 million people ago. Just really a nice town.
Yes.
San Angelo seems like a real
It also
nice place.
reminds me of Albuquerque from the 70s.
Okay.
About the same population
Yeah.
it was when I went there.
Right. I lived in Albuquerque, 92 to 93. I was stationed at Kirtland.
Yes,
So,
nice
yeah.
place.
So Vanessa, tell me, you raised alpacas.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the story with that?
I was working, and one of the women I worked with was on the internet during her break one day, and I said, what are you looking at? She says, well, I'm buying this property with land and I need to get animals, but she was a single woman. I need an animal that I can handle. You know, I don't want cows or anything. And I said, well, what about goats? She said, I've had goats and they're still fast, so they're hard to catch and stuff. So the ads had just started on TV for, the ad went, I love alpacas. And it was ilovealpacas.com, and it was the national registry that was advertising alpacas to get people interested in it. So of course I went home, went online, fell in love with those lovely teddy bears, and told my husband, and we lived in a house in a subdivision.
Can y'all just hear Jerry going, you want what?
Yes. And luckily he's one of these husbands that goes, okay.
But didn't you had a love of knitting already?
I was here, yes, I love knitting, and that was the whole reason why the animals intrigued me, because they were fur bearers and they were going to provide me with fiber. I was not a spinner, or I do not have a loom. I never wanted to get into weaving, but knitting and crocheting was my love, and so which automatically transitions into spinning, which once you learn it, it's kind of like learning to swim. You think you're going to drown, and then all of a sudden everything clicks together and you're swimming a lap, you know. And spinning is like that. So once you get it, the only way I can relate to how calming it is, it's like watching a fire burn.
So you told me that you moved, you used to live in Abilene, so you needed more land for the alpacas.
Yes.
So you came here.
Yes.
Okay, and you're kind of isolated out here, okay, and there were other quilt stores in San Angelo.
There was one.
Okay, and then so I come in here, and this looks like a little tiny shed from the front, and I walk in, and you guys, she's got more fabric. It's amazing. It's just incredible how many bolts you have, and all of your color options are just lovely.
And
really
this is
nice.
Just the beginning.
Right.
Wait, there's more.
Okay, so before we get started, let me do this. I frequently have people tell me that, oh, I want something from that shop, and their first question is, do you ship overseas?
I will.
Okay.
Yes.
So she will ship overseas.
I have a website.
Okay.
But not everything, as you will see, not everything in the shop is on the website.
Okay.
I now specialize in backing fabrics because I was out of quilting for 20 years. Then I moved here and started, because I was dyeing fiber, I started getting introduced to the quilters that would come in the quilt shops. And I kept telling my husband, he says, oh, so now we're going to do quilting as well? And I said,
Yes.
No, I said, no, I'm not, because I don't have a stash. I said, it means starting all over again. You can't buy everything from one place. Of course, now we have the internet, but you have to be in the shop. It's got to be, we're touchy-feely with our fabrics, and I was definitely one of those. And so I said, no, I'm not getting into one more thing. I've dabbled in so many things in my life, all sorts of arts. And so...
famous last words.
Here I am.
There you are. Yes. Surrounded by fabric, she is.
Yes.
Okay, so approximately, what's your inventory? How many bolts do you
have? I have over 300 bolts of backing fabrics.
Of backing fabric?
Alone.
Just backing? Oh my goodness.
And then I'm probably about 2,500 in fabric.
Okay, so worth the trip.
It is. People walk, when you say that it looks like a little shed from the outside.
Right.
I will be, in here, and even when I was just this section, and you would see people open the door like, well, there's probably nothing there. We probably won't even step inside.
Yeah, two jelly rolls and a layer cake.
Yeah, and then you hear, oh my God, you're a real quilt shop. So people beware, when you come here, you're going to stay a while.
So when I open the door and I'm, hello, is anybody here? Hello? I was in the room for about a minute before she finally came from the back. That's how far back it goes. And I'm really excited to show you guys all of this. So are you ready to get started? Okay.
Yes.
So in the front here, this is just like your color wall, right?
I start with my colors, and all my fabrics are sorted into color groups, and so the colors continue in the other room.
Okay.
And
great.
the backings are in the other room.
And if they see something they want, they can call or email you and ask you about it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would suggest if they can get a snapshot of what was on the video,
okay,
that would help.
That's a great idea. So take a screenshot of the video.
Yes.
And then email it to you and say, this is what I want.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yes. And I will warn people, I am a creative shopper when it comes to quilting fabric, so that I can keep my prices down. So one question I get is, no, I cannot get more of most everything you see.
Okay.
And two, when it's gone, it's gone.
Right. Well, yeah, that goes hand in hand.
So
let me start here when I
yes.
come in the door, everybody, and I will show you. We walk in, and you had your own license plate for
row by row for many years.
That's
I have
great.
3 or 4 of them actually.
Okay. So here are
the interfacings.
Interfacings and whatnot. Oh, that is really neat. Look at that. It says quilt the way it's folded. How cute.
It's called book folding.
Book folding. That's brilliant. I love that. I've never seen anything like that. She's got batting. She's got bosal. Steam a seam by the box full. Oh, that's an adorable tote up there. That bag is so cute. Let me get up here and show you guys this. It's just gorgeous stuff.
The Blackbird is one of my designed pincushions.
Is this like Aboriginal fabric?
That is a friend of mine died and left fabric to me, and it was a grouping of small pieces of African fabric.
Love this.
So
this is your pincushion design here?
Yes.
The Blackbird. Look at that. Isn't that good? You are so creative. Look at this one. This book stitch. Very, very cool. You've got lots of DMC for those.
Hand-dyed silk ribbon.
Hand-dyed silk. Okay. Not just any DMC.
These are
so cool.
These are the block boards like Laurie Holt makes.
Right.
But I make them myself.
Okay.
And they're in groupings. But then I had an idea to put them into a book so that they could make them portable. And these are on a much thinner backing than the others. And these are totally removable. So if you go to class and you're building blocks, you put them on these and then you put them back in the cover and take them home.
How wonderful.
And everybody loves them, but then I went one step further. I had a brainwave in the middle of the night. You know how we always have our brainwaves in the middle of the night. And so I decided that let's make it more versatile. So we still have the blocks, and then we have pockets, so that if you're doing a project and you want to take all your tools with you,
and you can see through them.
and if you don't need this, it
look.
comes out and you can just again take your block boards to class. So this is a design that I've put together over time, and
I love this.
and the cover on each one.
Did you put the hexes on yourself?
They're handmade English paper piece hexes.
By an English woman.
Of course. Who never heard of English paper piecing until a couple of years ago. And I do paperless paper piecing. And I'll show you more about that later.
Neat.
So let me just put this back together.
That is just brilliant.
And I used to make these as smaller versions for hand embroiderers. And so it's just an extension of what I've been making for years. And then I just have a variety of colors.
Okay.
Then we start with I keep all of my grays and blacks and my background beiges in this room, because for some reason people never seem to be able to find it. And I just moved all my solids in here. This is my wall of notions, and it's 3-sided grids.
So really, you are a fully stocked quilt shop.
I try to have unusual things. If I didn't make it myself, then I try and find it and source it.
Wool down there.
I've hand dye wool, and you'll see that all over in the corner here. This little display is full of. This is my wool, my yardage, my hand dyed wools, and my wool velvet felt.
Oh my goodness.
That was one of my wool row by row designs.
It's beautiful.
And then now I'm carrying all the supplies for purse making, bag making as well, which is why I have all these beautiful colors of zippers and vinyl and cork.
Okay, there's all of her purse making supplies. Yes. Beautiful stuff.
And all this will eventually be on the website. Since it's a one-man band, it's just what I'm in the mood for that day.
That's right.
This is my thread room. I make every single skein myself. I don't buy skeins of thread and then dye them. These are all hand dyed. It starts with cotton, and it's pearl cotton, and it's in different weights. And then I've got 6-strand cotton, which is equal to DMC. And then I've got number 8 silk. And something I make that I haven't seen anybody else with is chenille. This is rayon chenille that's all hand dyed by me.
Wow.
And that's great for needle pointers as well as embroiderers. This is all hand embroidery thread.
Yeah, you know this isn't my thing, right?
And then I've got
I
wool and
respect
nylon.
so much the people who can do this. This is just incredible. Where is your dyeing station at?
It's in the garage. It's 2 microwaves. It's all done in the microwave, or not even in just in a pot, and sits for the day.
This is fascinating. I am just fascinated by this. And she has all of her wool pincushion kit. These are your
Yes,
designs.
and I'll show you the actual finished pincushions.
I saw a pile of them back there. I can't look at this.
I pulled those
Look
so
at
that I
that
could
little
show them.
Agora goat pincushion kit.
And then there's a boar goat on this side.
That is just adorable. Oh my goodness. We have an armadillo.
Hedgehog.
Hedgehogs. Fox, skunk, and a mouse.
This is my hand-dyed silks, and some of them are variegated. These are variegated, obviously.
They're just beautiful. Okay, you hand stitchers, this is your spot.
And crazy quilting. It's great for crazy quilting.
Oh my goodness, it's just gorgeous.
And stitching with silk is like stitching with butter. It just goes through so beautifully.
You do a lot of work.
And my prices are very, very competitive. My silk is $3.98 a strand, and my cottons are $2.98 a strand. They're 10-yard skeins.
Wow.
So it's very competitive.
Okay.
Then we come into the big room.
So you offer classes here?
I do. I haven't. You'll see why I'm not offering any right now. But this is probably going to be a little offering where I'm going to do little 2-hour classes and teach them each one of these objects.
Okay.
They're made with a placemat. I thought it was pretty clever.
Yes. Pioneer woman?
Yes.
Yes.
And then begins on the wall here begins the backing fabrics that I specialize in, because I know I've been to so many quilt shops and they have 4, maybe 6 offerings of backing fabric, and it goes all the way around to the boutiques.
Wow.
And I, as I was telling you, have over 300, probably 350 bolts now of backing fabrics, and I'm constantly getting new ones in, and I try very, very hard to get a variety so that there are some nice masculine fabrics that don't look frou-frou, as the women call them.
Yes. Wow, look at this. So these are all her 108s, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And some 118s. I've managed to find a company that does 118.
Okay.
Which really works great for the bigger quilts. These are my pre-cut stands, and I have 4 of them right now, and I make my own pre-cuts. I make jelly rolls, charm squares, and layer cakes. These long rolls are the layer cakes. This is an autumn version
10-inch squares
of 10-inch squares, and these are on my Etsy shop.
Oh, okay. So you have an Etsy shop.
Yes.
Okay.
And Etsy,
what's the name of your Etsy shop?
It's not the Fiber Co-op like my shop. It's Fiber Co-op without a hyphen.
Okay.
It's a little complicated, but
It's like
I
Fiber
will.
Coop.
Yes, it is like Fiber Coop.
Okay.
I think they wouldn't allow hyphens in shop names or something years ago when I started it. So anyway, that's what it is. If somebody's interested in something that they see, I'm more than happy to just take a phone call and complete an order that way.
Oh.
Or a email. There's lots of information on my website on how to contact me.
Okay, I'll have all of the information for this shop below the video in the description box if you want to get in touch with Vanessa. She's got a big cave section here. Recognize that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to miss. Very, very.
And we added this room on a year ago.
Okay.
And I've already outgrown it. And
Yes,
so
you have.
the classroom is going because I need more space for fabric. And then we were building on a month ago, and then the price of wood tripled. So we're just waiting for it to go back down again. And these will be all moved out. And my husband, who built all these displays, will build me some more.
Right, Jerry built all of these display cases in the front and the back, and boy, what a job mass producing these things.
Just
My
to give
goodness.
them an idea of how much fabric, there's 75 bolts of fabric on each of these. This is one display.
Okay.
75 bolts
On each. Wow. Yeah.
in one go. It's 25 to a row, basically.
75, 150.
Yes.
So 300 just
Yeah.
in this row right here. Wow. I hope I'm not moving too fast for you guys so that you can see what all is here.
And I keep making my boutiques homeless in order to accommodate more backings.
Lots of reds for you red girls. And guys, I have a lot of gentlemen who watch my channel.
Ah. That's my Laurie Holt section over there, and I overflowed. I had to put fabrics back in the color groups because I couldn't get all the Laurie Holt type fabrics
Right.
In one spot.
Right.
Because I know that's extremely popular right now.
Very much. Yes.
I do want to point out all the little squares that are up on the wall
Uh-huh.
here are samples of our fabrics, but they are also samples of the Missouri Star disappearing blocks.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
I have designed a ruler that makes making these quicker,
Oh, show me.
more easy.
Can you show me?
I can do a demo when we get back in the other room.
That sounds great.
Yes. It's just the best thing since sliced bread. And
I did a disappearing 9-patch quilt for my son, and it was miserable.
they were, and I was doing one, and that 1/8 inch that you have to keep looking for on the ruler, it just doesn't show up when you have to wear glasses.
Right.
I talked to Jerry and I said, I have this idea for a ruler, will you cut one for me, because he knows how to cut plastic. And so I made a prototype and tried it, and it worked, and I was so excited, and I sell them like hotcakes here in the shop.
You have a long arm back here.
Yes.
Okay, and so do you do the long arming, or do you rent it out?
No, this is my play area sometimes.
Okay.
I'm much more happier with all my sewing machines though.
Oh, show me your pin cushions over there.
Okay, before we go there, let's look at this.
Okay.
This is my first attempt into a wall hanging in English paper piecing. And look at this. No paper.
Oh my.
No paper whatsoever. They're made that way, they're stitched that way. This is from Katja's Quilt Shop in Canada. She offers a free quilt every year, and she posts the free patterns. You do have to have her book.
Lovely.
Yeah. And so I just have it up here. I just plopped them up a couple of months ago because I want to make it go from purple to pink to red, and I haven't rearranged anything. But these are, you can see on a close-up, they're all hand stitched by me. I do my stitching normally like any English paper piece, so I'm sure the stitches aren't showing up.
That's how tiny they are.
Yeah, I've always, since I started as an embroiderer, I was taught by my mother to do tiny stitches. The tinier the stitch, the tinier the needle you use, the more delicate your work looks. And I will be, once I can get the camera and the computer to coordinate, I'll be doing a YouTube video on how this is done. I want to get more into it, into what products I found worked best for the technique. So that will be coming.
Very interested in that.
And now I've put it on record, I have to do it. And this again was some English paper piecing that I was dabbling with.
So cute. Isn't she talented? Look at that. I could not do that in a million years.
I do it in the evenings in front of the TV.
Couldn't do it.
She doesn't cook.
I
A lot.
have to be doing something with my hands at all times, I guess, because I do.
Because you're a stitcher.
Yes,
that's what you.
I'm a manufacturer at heart.
This is Jerry, the maker of all of the wooden.
The builder of this building.
Hi.
The builder of the building, the builder of the cabinets and the racks, and all of that. So, okay. So these are your patterns?
These are my patterns. The kits are available. I don't sell the pattern individually, but the kits are $14.95. So you get the wool, you get everything you need to make a pincushion, and I've taught these classes. You can make one of these. All of these pincushions can be made in 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Promise. I've taught classes. Everybody went home with one. Okay. This was the little guy that started it all. I call him my counting sheep.
Oh.
And I've always loved the counting sheep in the Serta ads. And so...
yeah, he looks like a Serta sheep.
This one is a mod. You can tell this one's a mod Scottish sheep. Or maybe English gentleman, we have to call it. This one's a Scottish sheep. But it's fun. I play around with them. This is this year's models, the fox and the skunk and the armadillo. But I think the Angora is the most loved, especially because Western Texas raises a lot of
Angora.
Yes.
Used to.
Look at the armadillo, you guys. Oh, with little spools. Do the spools come with it as part of the kit?
Yes, I saw what. Yes, spools come with the kit.
Well, see, this
the beads.
armadillo, his feet ain't sticking up on the side of the road.
Right?
Oh, and they get a set of my handmade pins in the kit.
Oh, look. You made those.
Yes,
Oh,
in
babe.
polymer clay. And they're a very big variety because I don't make the same ones all the time. So there's no guarantee in what you'll get. 2 little owls, that's in one kit.
Wow. You are so creative. I am impressed.
The cardinal,
Yes.
that's a popular one.
They're all over my house. I have cardinals everywhere. Wow.
So
They are
Lots
just
of fun.
adorable.
So you want me to show you how I do the disappearing blocks?
Sure.
Okay,
Let's do a demo.
Let's go up front.
Here's all her little handmade pins.
Yep.
Look at that.
And we
Oh,
used to go to
she's-
shows with those, you could sell pretty darn good.
I believe it. They're just,
You know, for $5.
yeah, but they're unique. That's just awesome.
I try to find things that are unique or that I know the box stores aren't selling at all. Because when you're a small shop, you have to pick your fights. And I just want to offer quality products. This is my disappearing quilt block ruler that I designed after making a couple of disappearing quilts and found it so frustrating to find all the little 1/8 marks in my yellow ruler that I really had trouble seeing. And so luckily I have a husband that knows plastics, and I said, can you make me a ruler 16 inches long, 2 1/8 inches wide? And he said, yeah, I can cut that for you. So here's my original, my prototype. I put this on just because if I put it in a drawer, I would never remember what it was for. So this is the disappearing block ruler. It's 16 inches long so that it can reach the far corners of your 10-inch squares. Disappearing blocks generally are made with 10-inch blocks or a layer cake. This is 2 10-inch squares. One is solid and one is a print, and you put together face together. And I just have the lines drawn so you can see. You're going to stitch 1/4 inch on each side of your square. It doesn't matter if you pivot in the corners or you go right off. It doesn't make any difference. You're going to cut it up anyway. So that is your first step. And if you have a layer cake, you'll be doing this 40 times because you will have 2 layer cakes, a solid and a print. If you do not want to use a layer cake and do a 2 color like I've done here, you can buy 2 3/4 yards of each fabric you are going to use. So we have our 10-inch squares. We take the ruler, and from corner to corner you're going to rotary cut across, turn it to the other 2 corners and cut it, and then you will have 4 separate blocks.
Right. 4 half square triangle blocks.
Which turn into half square triangles. Now,
Right.
depending on the design you have picked to make in the disappearing blocks, you will either make an hourglass or a pinwheel out of these 4 blocks. They're all cut the same every time. You stitch those together, and again, you have your block. You are then going to take your ruler, and you are going to cut 2 1/8 inches from the center seam.
Yes.
On all 4 sides.
Yes.
So you're going to place your edge of your ruler, ignore that line, and you're going to cut.
You're placing it on center seam and
Center
cutting.
seam.
Okay. Okay.
And then you're
you
going.
don't have to measure. The ruler is the right size.
Correct.
Okay.
So then if you have a rotating mat, this is great.
Right.
A bigger one. And again, you turn it, you're on the center seam.
Yes.
Turn it again, and you do that 4 times. So basically, you've cut out a 9 patch.
Yes. And then you spin those.
Then you're told in the pattern or on the tutorial which pieces of the blocks are going to be turned. And I found, just from making so many, this one always gets turned, because you basically are never going to have, and I may be not totally correct on this, but you'll always have a print and a solid next to one another, not solid with solid.
Right.
Stitch that together and you have your disappeared block. And what I want to point out, that's the most exciting, fantastic thing Jenny Doan and her team ever did. There is not, you'll never get a 4-patch that they don't meet at the point.
Right.
You'll never get a triangle that doesn't have its points. Everything is perfect. This, I have discovered for my customers, this is the best beginner's quilt a beginner quilter can make.
Really?
For this
So
reason.
that was one of my very first quilts that I made for my son.
Yes.
And my blocks were so wonky because I couldn't find
The 1/8 inch.
I guess that's it. I don't know. You know, but I was a beginner quilter and my seams may not have been right either.
That's the one thing. I mean, you can get away with a little bit of discrepancy, and you nearly always have to square off your blocks. And squaring off is where you take a ruler, and you can use this ruler and just make sure all your little you know, if it's longer here and shorter here, just, you know, make sure that it's all nicely trimmed off before you go to sew the blocks together.
That's lovely.
And this is what this quilt with 4 blocks would look like. And of course this is the repetition, and I don't know if you'll notice there's a star here.
Oh yeah.
It stands out, and once you see it, then you see the star when you look at the quilt. It's very pretty. So that is my disappearing block ruler, available only from the Fiber Co-op. They're $9.95. Oh, and then I forgot to tell you, the reason I have these marks here is because if you were to pick up this ruler, it looks like 2 1-inch spaces. You know, you could mess up where you put it on your block when you're putting it on your block to do your cutting. If you don't have, this is just for the 4-patch. I'm sorry, I should explain myself better. This line is for the 4-patch, but that's also to remind you what sizes they are. And on the 4-patch, you cut a 1-inch border here on the center seam.
Oh, so that's what the black line is for.
That's
Oh,
what the
okay.
black line is for on the 4 patches. There's
Gotcha.
only a couple of 4-patch patterns. And as far as I know, I've made the 9-patch, and my ruler does not work for the 9-patch. It's just different, totally different. Unless I'm wrong, I'd like to know.
No, you had a 9-patch back here.
Yes, but there's a 9-patch disappearing block where
Oh.
you make a 9-patch and then cut it up.
I'm tracking.
And I haven't made another one, so I
this
may be
one
wrong.
is specifically for the 10-inch squares.
Yes, pretty, and the 4-inch.
And okay.
It works for 18 of the disappearing blocks that Jenny Doan has come up with.
Wow.
The satisfaction when you finish it, because everything fit together so perfectly.
Right.
It gives you the impetus to try something different, or another disappearing block. I could make disappearing blocks for the rest of my life and be a happy girl because they are so pretty. And depending on the fabrics you choose, you're going to get a different one every time.
Right.
So it's fun. Try it.
That's awesome. So, Vanessa, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. You have an incredible shop here. I just love it. It's bright and it's happy and it's fun, and there are so many things in here. This is so you've personalized it so much with your patterns and your designs and your dyes and your threads, and I just have never seen anything like this. So this has really been a treat to find. She's a true artisan. She really is.
Thank you.
You're gonna see one of those little pin cushions in my studio. I don't know when I'll make it. Well, we're on the road now, so maybe I'll do that while we're driving. I'll have some time,
yes,
right?
you'd have plenty of
Yeah, I
time.
have
I'll give you a
plenty of time.
needle.
Oh, thank you. I need it.
Yes, I've done that to a lot of people that are on the road, and they go, I could sit and stitch this. Oh, I don't have needles. No problem. Here's a needle to go with it.
You're a sweetheart. Anyway, well, thank you so much.
Well,
this has been great. This has been really great.
I'm so excited. I love your YouTube
Oh, thank you.
videos, and I just hope people enjoy hearing us converse and
Right.
visit.
So be sure to look below the video in the description box. I'll have all of her contact information. If you saw something here that you want, maybe you want to get some threads and support this small business, just give her a call, send her an email. We'll have all that information below, and we will talk to you soon. Can you say it with me? Go say something.
Let's go sew something.
That was fun.